Since the day we met our very first participant in 2001, Wellspring Living has worked tirelessly to serve the needs of over 2,000 youth and women victimized and at risk for sexual exploitation. And yet, even as Wellspring Living grew, the problem of sex trafficking persisted. At the moment you're watching this, there are an estimated 4 million victims of sex trafficking around the world. The numbers across the state alone are staggering. Since 2009, youth from 145 of Georgia's 159 counties have been referred for our services. Just this month, over 13,000 men will pay for sex with minors in the state of Georgia. 65% of these men will reside in suburban areas outside of I-285. The average age of these girls will be 14 years old. In 2020, Wellspring Living served over 330 people across all programs. 85% of these participants came from the metro Atlanta area. Behind every one of these numbers is a story, a person with hopes and dreams, a person deserving of love and happiness. And when Wellspring Living was founded over 20 years ago, it was these stories that drove our actions. In order to provide true transformation for youth and women that have faced unimaginable trauma, we knew we must be willing to fight with them and for them in the hard work of restoration. In 2 decades of serving sex trafficking survivors, Wellspring Living has provided safety, freedom, and hope to thousands of women and children across the state of Georgia and beyond. As we celebrate 20 years of hope and restoration, we look back at where we started. We reflect on how far we've come. And we know the best way to honor this work is to hear directly from the people whose lives have been transformed.
My name is Emily, and I went into Wellspring August 28th, 2005.
Hi, my name is KORY, and I went to Wellspring Living, I believe it was almost 20 years ago.
My name is Megan. I needed to feel loved. I needed connection. I needed to feel comfort and to feel like I belonged.
Before I went there, I was very empty and on a path to destruction. There were things in my life that I was trying to change, and I couldn't do it on my own, and I knew that I had to change.
They helped to show me how the Bible was the living word.
They never judged me. They welcomed me with open arms.
What Wellspring did for me was it took this path or this track that I was on to destruction, and it changed. It switched tracks. And that track, where you have to surrender a few things, your phone, maybe, things like that, and it just switches the course. And now in the big scheme of things, years later,
I think before walking into Wellspring, knowing that this was supposed to be where I was supposed to be, and then walking in and having that love and support and guidance and strength of these, they were young counselors and girls that loved Jesus, and that were happy and content with their life, and knowing that I could live this life. I could live that life that those girls were living. I could do that.
Now I'm living in Ocala, Florida with my husband and my little Ruby Sue. And we just bought some property.
Since Wellspring, God led me to move back to New York, and I got married, and I have 2 precious boys who are amazing.
Thank you to Wellspring for everything you guys have done for us, or for me. Best prayers and wishes for the next 20 years.
That short amount of time at Wellspring doesn't seem like very much at all, but it did have a huge impact. So, but anyway, God bless you. God bless you.
There has been many hiccups. There has been many falls. There has been many bumps. many valleys that I've walked through, and God's always been there. He has always shown me that He's with me and that He forgives me and that He loves me. Excuse me. And so I am grateful for Wellspring for showing me how to live that, and for their guidance and facilitating that. I would not be the person I am today without Wellspring.
These stories are the miracles of Wellspring Living. Yet, they represent just a small portion of the thousands whose lives have been forever changed through Wellspring Living's programs. Through our residential programs, we have provided a safe haven for survivors who need trauma-informed care in a stable, secure environment. Through our community programs, we provided youth and women with critical support services they need to positively change the trajectory of their lives and the lives of their family. Through our graduate services, we provided our program graduates with aftercare opportunities like therapy, safe and stable housing, and mentorship to ensure that their new journey to success is a permanent one. Wellspring Living hasn't done this alone. Countless people and partners have come alongside us over the years to support the restoration of sex trafficking survivors and those at risk. Through donations, volunteerism, and collaboration, an army of individuals has contributed to the hope provided to those in our community who have experienced the worst of humanity. This compassion, generosity, and friendship truly made transformation a reality for Wellspring Living participants and their families. While we celebrate this milestone, we know there's still more to be done. So we press on into the next 20 years with you, partners who are committed to champion youth and women in our communities who desperately need our help. When we join together, transformation is possible, and that's a fact we can be proud of.